Welcome to Spilling the Tea podcast with Haylin and Kiki. This is episode 10.
Bestie, we are here doing the thing. Episode 10, welcome back. I'm so happy we had Jasper last time.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
He's too cute.
Today we're talking about friendships, and all the kids come to me spilling the tea about their friends, this and that, and complaining about this and that. The med students too, doctors, actually everyone complains about their friends, or they always have drama about their friends.
There's always drama when, especially, at least for me, I think my hardest time with navigating friendships was definitely like high school. Oh my God, that was so hard for me, and it was so overwhelming, it was so anxiety provoking. But it's because I was chasing not the good friendships. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I was chasing kind of people that were just draining my energy instead of adding me. So I think that's why they weren't too successful. But
most kids in high school, I think, have to learn how to navigate. It's like the beginning of learning how to navigate friendships, right?
yeah.
I would say I've been lucky to have the same group of friends. How about you?
Well, I have a handful of girlfriends that I've had since like high school. I have two other friends from like middle school. And I also are still best friends with my best friends from like pre-K.
That's so cute. Pre-K?
Yeah,
okay,
pre-K,
that's rare.
like
That's
before
definitely rare.
kindergarten. But I've also been very fortunate enough to have some like fallouts with other people that I thought were my friends and that I at some point loved dearly. And I wished them the best and all that, but we weren't aligned,
Right.
and it was very hard for me. It was very hard. I'm sure you've had those too.
How do you get over those friendships, or how do you make the decision whether or not to keep a friend? Because that's actually a very hard decision, right?
Well, I would say growing up, I would chase friendships that were broken for like many, 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 many months, right? But as I got older, I would say after I graduated college or like mid-college, I started realizing that, it's like a breakup. I mean, it's like, yeah, it is a breakup, but I was gonna say like it's a boyfriend's girlfriend's breakup, to some extent. You grieve, you hurt, all that. But you also gotta sit down for a second and really think like, oh, why is this happening? Is it because they're not good to me? They lied to me. They are manipulative. They don't support who I am. They show up as someone with me and then they change their personality when they're around other people. They don't invite me out to the same things, When you start thinking about the pros and cons, I think that's when, for me, it was the easiest to make like the realization that, yeah, I'm not going back there.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to look at it. And I guess it's hard because sometimes people are there for seasons of our life, right? And it doesn't always have to be like this lifelong friendship. But I do think that most of the kids that come into the cafe, that is what they're searching for, right? They're searching for the group, like in high school, like in the movies, like here's the jocks, here's the drama people, here's the nerds, right? You just want to be a part of a group.
You want to find your tribe and love them hard. You know what I mean? You don't want to be a part of groups or villages that you guys are not vibing on the same frequency, And I don't have anything against those that were once my friends and I had to like let them behind me. No hard feelings,
Right.
It's just that we're just vibing at a different frequency, and that's okay too.
Like sometimes we grow apart, kind of naturally.
Yeah, it's
or
like
gradually.
we grow together to grow apart, and that's fine too, because there are some friendships that are like the seasons, They're only there for a time of your life.
And I think it also depends on where you're headed in life and what your beliefs are and what your values are. And I think that high school is a time, or even young adulthood is a time of that self-reflection and self-discovery. So we might not even know who we are until we go through maybe a few different sets of friends, right? I know that with the pandemic and all of that, there's a lot of loneliness, and I think across the nation, there's like this loneliness epidemic. Where do you think this is coming from?
I would like to say that a lot of it, and I know that Gen Z, I know you guys love me and you guys are going to hate me for this one. So sorry for other kids that spill the tea that I'm going to betray, but social media and all of, electronics, computer and laptop time, screen time, all of that keeps you isolated from really engaging in real connections with
Right.
those that are surrounding you. So definitely social media and, the internet era is
Also,
guilty for that isolation.
low key, like you don't have that practice of, oh, I gotta like ask you to the dance, or I gotta, right? Like you're just texting them or whatever
or
you
sending
do.
you a flyer.
Right,
Like,
and you don't build that like courage, And so I think that it's easier to hide behind that screen. But when you actually look at two different ends of the spectrum, I also think that social media, especially for LGBT kids, sometimes social media is a lifeline for them.
yeah.
Or sometimes it's the only place that they do find other kids like them. And so when I hear that, I get it, but I also want to see them in real life in the cafe.
Yeah.
And I still want to see them actually navigating the friendships. And so the big thing that I tell the kids is I think it was Brene Brown, but it's like
Shout out to her. I learned through her last year when we went to San Francisco.
Oh, nice.
Yes. My
Okay,
therapist told me
amazing.
about her.
So she says something about a marble jar. And like, if you imagine all of your friends have a marble jar and like they have half the marbles in there, right? Every time Kiki, who's my bestie, does something nice for me or shows up for me or texts me or, I have a flat tire, she helps me, right? Like I'm in my head, like giving her marbles, like, oh, look at Kiki, all these things she's doing for me. It's not a tit for tat thing where I'm gonna like keep score, but the purpose of this exercise is because we always like to say what they're doing wrong. Like, oh, Kiki didn't do this and Kiki didn't do that, right? And so a lot of times we'll just smash that marble jar and be like, oh, Kiki like said something mean about me, so I'm just gonna never talk to her again. That's the wrong way, right? We don't actually do that because we know that humans make mistakes. We know that people we love will always fail us, right? So if you do something that maybe hurts my feelings, I might take a marble out and just keep note of that. But I'm always gonna be able to give you marbles as well. And so I think that's a good way to determine like, is this person bringing value to me or is this person really detrimental to my life, right? And pay attention, because if that person doesn't have any marbles, then think about maybe cutting this person out of your life. Or say if someone has done so many great things for you that they have a marble jar that's full of marbles, then you're gonna understand that that's a lifelong friend.
Yeah.
Right? So someone like you or someone like my mom, like no matter what kind of fallouts we have, we understand that this illustration of the marble jar is like also an illustration of building trust over time. So I guess all of this to say that real friendships take time and they have to stand the test of time.
And I feel, yes, time, distance, everything in between. I feel like one of my, I don't want to say names because then one is going to get jealous and then the other one's going to text me like,
anyway, just
why her,
say
not
it.
me, but.
Just say my friend.
You all know, but I have this one friend of mine. I'll just say it. It's Andrea. We've been best friends since like 7th grade, but we have definitely had our lowest lows and our highest highs. And it's at the end of the day, it's truly about, how committed you guys are to your friendship, how you can bring up uncomfortable topics. You guys are going to disagree. I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, my friend is constantly disagreeing with me, or they never agree with the things that I say. Like, why don't you actually put it on a different perspective and like, why are they not agreeing with your choices? Are you doing something wrong? Is this something that is negatively affecting your life? Is it because you're causing harm to yourself? So that.
Yeah. Like self-reflection.
Yeah, self-reflection and also open communication and understand each other's perspective.
Right, and also don't expect your friend to just read your mind. I think that's one thing, whether it's in a romantic relationship or otherwise. A lot of times we get upset and we hold it in and we get resentful, but really being able to, first of all, calm down, right? And then be able to vocalize or text someone in a more neutral way to say, hey, like that really hurt my feelings when you said X, Y, and Z. I know it sounds lame, but I'm trying to tell the kids, like really just say like, that was, I don't know, in Gen Z language, how do you say it? Like instead of saying like, oh, that hurt my feelings, like what would they say?
That's
whack.
Like,
that's like the boomer way of saying it.
They would say, I don't know, they would just cut you off, and that's not healthy.
But that's not
would
healthy,
just ghost you.
And that's what we're trying to teach today, right?
Yes. When I was in high school, the easiest way for me to cut someone off was ghosting them. But then I understood that it's best for you to like talk to them like, this is what you're doing wrong and I'm not gonna tolerate it. So I'm gonna take a step back and I wish you the best. Because if you don't tell them, what's gonna happen is that they're gonna make a new friendship. They're gonna repeat the same behaviors with that same friend. And you know, at least for me, I wanna be able, it's like a breakup. I just hope that those friends that I had a fallout with, I hope that they became better humans so that they can best show up at better friends. And same with me. Like the people that cut me off really allowed me to do some, you know, very hard self-work, very uncomfortable one, because we have to also point out that you may also be the wrong. You know what I mean? You may be the one that caused the breakup with your friend. You know what I mean? And maybe you have to do some changes, but it's just really all to push you to be a better human being.
I also think that it's important to vocalize, to give them a chance to fix it. Like, what if they don't know? Like, what if they really don't know, you know? Or maybe if you can't handle it and you're talking about energy management, shout out to my friend, Christina Pan. She does a lot of energy management.
And shout out Belly.
Yes.
As per usual.
But you're saying, does this friend energize me? Like if I'm around Kiki, like does she give me positive vibes? Which she does, you know? Or does this person drain me? Like every time I talk to them, it's like, I feel like I come home and it's like, damn, I'm with my friend, but I can't even like invoice them. It feels like a therapy session, but I'm like the therapist, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not always like fun or fulfilling. And so just being really aware of like your energy management, and not saying that everyone's gonna be positive all the time, but what we do know in every relationship, whether it's family or friends or romantic relationship, there is something we call rupture and repair. You know what that is, Kiki?
No, I don't. I don't. Can you explain them, please?
Okay, yeah, like rupture and repair just means that because we're different humans with different minds and different thoughts and different beliefs, like we're not gonna always agree on things. And so what that means is we will have some type of disagreement, that would be the rupture. But what's more important is how you repair. And so typically how I repair is gonna be similar in like different, you know, situations, but similar for Kiki. Like what is her way of repairing? Is it like, okay, well just F you then? Like, or is it overly saying sorry? We all know people like that where they're just like overly, you know, apologetic, but what is the way that you repair? And looking at the way you grew up in your family, that's a good sign to like say, this is how it was programmed. So like for instance, in my family, it's like a joke, they don't care. But our rupture and repair was like, okay, I would get yelled at or somebody would get yelled at, right? And then the next day it's like, or maybe that night, it's like, okay, come eat dinner. That was the repair part. Like there was no sorry, like, oh, sorry, I yelled at you. Oh, sorry, mom, that I didn't do this. Oh, sorry, dad, that I didn't do. There was no like conversation. And so I learned to brush things under the rug and not talk about like my feelings and then kind of just repress it. And then I had to unlearn how to do that in adulthood. And so I just want everyone to look at themselves in high school. Like, how do I rupture and repair with maybe my friends? Is it just LOL, but we said something like out of pocket, you know? If you
my repair is like, I'll send you a reel.
Is that your
pretend? No, it's really not. I need to take some distance. It may be true, actually.
It makes sense, actually. She does send me reels.
Like, oh, she's mad. I just sent her a funny reel or two, maybe a dog.
We should.
Just kidding.
No, but it's interesting. I think we should talk about our friendship because we have a very.
We're back. Sorry, we have to take a quick pause. But yeah, we were saying we should talk about our friendship.
Yes.
What about our friendship? There's so many aspects to it.
It's
honestly,
a really
how do you feel about our friendship?
I feel very blessed to have found Kiki. It's kind of like
lucky, I'm blessed. Yeah.
It's kind of like finding like a diamond in the rough.
In the coal.
You know? And also to see our struggles, or you to see my struggles.
We see each other's struggles.
See each other's struggles. I think it really has built our friendship. It's a little bit nuanced, our relationship, because
what does that mean?
There's just like a lot of layers to it, because I do see you as like a best friend. I also see you as like almost like a Hanai daughter, right? Like, so there's like different like levels to it. But all in all, I think that our friendship has really grown because of the business.
I agree. I 100% agree.
What do you think?
I think the same thing. I mean, if I remember, like, honestly, 6 years ago when I was Haylin's nanny, or 7 years ago, I didn't even know what she did for work. Like, I didn't even, I don't even, I
You
did
knew I was
not.
a therapist.
I don't know. I was like, she's something. She's something. But anyway, what I'm saying is that when I was Haylin's nanny, like, our relationship was not like this. I think it
Right.
developed through the pandemic because, you know, like,
Yeah.
then I would see her more and I would talk to her more.
My surgery.
And then she had surgery, which
Oh my
also brought us
God.
closer. More like, it started feeling like, oh my gosh, she's my family, you know? And then with Maddie and all that, I think like
Oh my
all that
God.
together just really built up a solid
Kiki really is the one
foundation.
who helped me really be a better mom to Maddie and be more accepting of Maddie through Maddie's coming out and all of that. I really do credit you.
And
with
shout out
that.
to Maddie because we do have a very strong friendship. I'll be so sad if he ever breaks our friendship, but yeah. Maddie, oh
guys
my
are kinda
God,
like
we have such a
siblings,
special
too.
bond. Yeah. Yeah, we have a very special bond. But all that to say that our friendship does really have a lot of layers, a lot of different aspects.
Like
you know?
sometimes I feel like it's a marriage too, because when you are so committed to a business and you're committed to a goal and it takes everything in you in terms of entrepreneurial mindset, it really takes so much sacrifice. And when you see another person putting that much sacrifice as much as you just begin to rely on them, almost like literally like a husband.
I know, it's too cute. I mean, the other day I did call you baby. I was like, baby. And I was like, wait, what's going on in here? I was like, I did not mean that.
That's because Alec. And then your man is like,
Shout out Alec. We already said the name.
we have two of the same husband names.
Yeah, we got Alec and we have Alex.
Yeah. But anyway, we got so off track. So I do really believe that our friendship, which we had a conversation in the beginning, that the friendship will always come first before the business. And I do recommend that for anyone who's going to go into business together. I mean, I have, like many business owners, I've had failed businesses in the past with, do I call it failed business owners? I don't know what it's called.
No, well.
Failed partnerships. And
Yes.
it was like soul crushing. Like I can't even like describe it, but that's in my past, so we don't need to bring that up. But I'm just saying, to finally find someone that you vibe with and that you align in your values.
Yes.
Right? That's the number one thing I think for business. But this
For friendships.
Yes, but this is separate in friendship because when you're just in a friendship and not in like a business partnership, you want to unconditionally accept that person. In business, it's different because we're having to agree on certain things for the business. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But anyway, all of that to say, when the kids come into the cafe and getting back to giving advice on how to navigate these meaningful friendships, what advice do you have for the teens when they come in saying like, I feel bullied, I feel like this group is not accepting me? You know, kids are so mean in high school, and I get really upset when they tell me the stories of what they're
If
going
there's
through.
something that I really love about Spill the Tea is that our kiddos, whether they've been there for 1 month or they've been there since April, like shout out Jasper, like when we first opened, it's that they are always going to be extremely welcoming to whoever teens comes in, which allows that other teen feel like they belong and like,
Right.
oh, I actually may be able to find a connection here. So I would say if you're new to Spill the Tea Cafe, don't be scared of walking in. Don't be scared of saying hi. And if you are shy, just reach out to one of us, the adults. We are going to ensure that you have a smooth welcoming into the clinic and that you feel like you can create in there long-lasting connections. It's really cute because we've had teens, you know, now 18-year-olds, but they meet at Spill the Tea and their friendship continues even when they are not longer teens. You know, it's
Yes.
very cute to see.
And we understand neurodivergence and sometimes the social anxiety that comes with, you know, teenagehood. And so just know that if you email us or you have your parent email us, right, we can assign you a teen mentor that can like assist with that process and make it a little smoother. I would say to just keep coming back, join one of the groups. You know, it might be a little awkward at first, but just keep coming back to the group. And I think eventually, you know, you'll see familiar faces, and just by like coming to the events and like being in the vibe, sometimes that helps. So I would say don't give up, like give it more than like just one time. And And if you need additional help, our teen mentors are there to assist you with making friendships.
And if you're wondering, you can find all of this information on www.spilltheteacafe.org. You can also find us on Instagram at spill_the_tea_cafe. If you're interested in scheduling an appointment, just reach out via email, info@spilltheteacafe.org. Is there anything else you would like to add before we go?
Also, we have a social skills group launching this summer, so it helps you learn how to introduce yourself and make friends and learn how to be a really good friend, right? Because a lot of times we want to know, how do we find these friends? But it really does start with looking at yourself and also trying to learn skills of how to be a good friend. So this summer, social skills group, we'll see you guys then.
And if you're someone that is currently interested in volunteer at Spill the Tea Cafe, whether it's hosting a group or just overseeing the activities, please reach out as well, info@spilltheteacafe.org. We need you guys. Thank you.